Hey, how's it going? Hey, Rant and Chill, Mr. Deadman here. Rise of the Triad. Now, that song's from the remake, which isn't so good, but you know, that song's really good, so, it's worth it just for the song. Anyway, not talking about video games, talking about the Cherokee Nation being in little trouble. Look, my theory is the Cherokee Nation knew they were going to be canceled. That the progressives were coming for them, for their slavery, for their hand in slavery, and we're talking quite a bit of slaves. We're talking quite a bit of slaves for a small population. This morning with the news, the Cherokee Nation saying, "Hey, guess what? If you have, if your ancestors were enslaved by the Cherokee Nation, don't worry, you are also now Native American." You are a member of the Cherokee tribe. Well, look at that. Why would the Cherokee Nation put out in the news that, hey, if your ancestors were enslaved by our ancestors, I'll tell you what, you're a member of the tribe. Why would they do that? To make up for their sins. Oh, but why? Because they were afraid. You know that the progressives were coming after him. You know they were coming after him. We're talking about the woke cancel guys. The people who do the cancel mob, that stuff. They were coming for him. They were coming for him. They saw the writing on the wall. They saw what was going on. So they decided to get ahead of it all and just go, you know what, before the hit piece comes out, before the spear piece comes out, do us a solid, bill them, this bump. Guess what? We'll make it. We'll make it right. You're now a member of the tribe. Do you get? I wonder if that comes. I wonder if that includes like stock in the casino. Get any sort of share in that stuff? Do you get a small percentage of the casino's earnings? No, you don't. What sort of perk do you get? Hey, Aaron, how's it going? Oh, it's good to go outside, he says, and try to clean up the aftermath of the big snow and melt that always seems to happen, but I want to catch one of these live. It's good to see you live. I've been very consistent about streaming these things every noon, just about. Well, it's not noon right now, is it? It's almost 1. I call it my lunch break for work. That's what it is. But Texas is reopening, so these streams are going to be almost over. Like these daily Rant and Chill streams, they're going to probably be done like next week, because my ass will be in the office. And I'm not going to be able to stream from that office. Not rant and chill about how Cherokee enslaved a bunch of black people back in the day. I don't know. But what are we talking about? For those that are confused, they're like, no way. Did the Cherokee Nation really have slaves? Yeah, quite a bit. Quite a bit. Even from the CNN article, if you want to read that to get at face value, they have about 4,000 enslaved people of color, black people, in the Cherokee Nation, by the Cherokee people in 1861. That is according to the National Museum of American Indian. So even if that's a soft number, even if that's a low estimate to make it not look so bad, it still looks really bad. We're talking about 4,000 enslaved black people living with the Cherokee people by 1861. Now, the population of the Cherokee tribe, according to Wikipedia, around 1860 was 21,000. So what does that mean? If you have 21,000 Cherokees and then you got 4,000 enslaved black people, you got 5 black people. I mean, what, like how many Cherokees had a slave? Like every 5 Cherokees had a slave? That's how it would work, right? Every 5 Cherokees had a slave. Just about everyone had a slave. Every family had a slave. That's about 20%. That's 20% of your population right there. Wow. Talk about issues, talk about problems. I find this hilarious because with this news breaking out, I haven't even looked at Twitter, see what they would say, see if they'd be ringing about this, be like, totally like surprised, be like, oh my God, we got to cancel Cherokee Nation. Oh my God, I can't believe this. I didn't know. What? People of color can enslave people of color? No way. Yeah, guess what? Slavery was not invented by white people. Slavery was not invented or started by white people. Slavery is very much a human thing and transcends all races, all cultures. Guess what? Back in the day, your families, they enslaved and they were slaved at one point in time. Native Americans had slaves. Let's see. Native Americans had slaves. Black people had slaves. Africa had slaves. Africa would enslave other tribes. They would enslave other tribes and then would sell them to the evil white European, the evil white Spaniard. Even the Jews had slaves. The Jews were slaved, and the Jews had slaves, and were perfectly cool with slavery. And Jesus on the matter was, meh. I mean, he didn't outright disavow, did he? He could have. He could have punished slave owners like he did that fig tree that didn't produce a fig. But no. Slavery was pretty common back then. Was expected. Something you did. It was a norm. But you know what? I say that as if slavery's not around today. Slavery's kind of expected today, in a way. Slavery hasn't gone away. What? Slavery's still here. There's still a market for slaves. It just looks different. Wow. Doesn't look as rough. But it's still slavery. Now, do you guys think for a second that with this news come out that the the woke left, the ones that want to cancel everything, will look at this and reflect a little bit and go, maybe I was wrong about my rhetoric. Maybe it's not the evil white man. No. They're not going to say that. Maybe I was wrong about my rhetoric. Maybe it's not, maybe slavery is not a white institution, a European institution. No, they're not going to say that. If any of them look at this, and I see even on Reddit, which I like to go to see, to get a sort of a feel for how the woke respond to this. And what I see are comments like, well, the victimhood. They're victimized, so they're victims, and then they just repeat the process. It's very cyclical. Oh, nice big brain psychological take there. So you're trying to say the Cherokees were enslaved by white people, so they then in turn enslaved others. So you're trying to say the tribes, the Native American tribes, didn't enslave until the evil white man came? What the fuck do you think they did with the prisoners of war from other tribes? What do you think Native American tribes did to the women of other tribes? They didn't treat them with hospitality. They didn't bring out lemonade and cookies and shit. No, they raped them. They fucking raped them. Made babies with them. And any men that took, you're working for us now. I don't like it. Fuck you. People like talk about ancient civilizations as if they were of moral, some grand moral esteem. I don't know, like so virtuous. What are you talking about? It was a very fucking rough time then. What? Oh, man. It was fight to survive. And part of that fight was conquering other tribes, conquering neighboring tribes, and taking what they have so you can use it for your own. Empower your tribe, embolden your tribe, make yourself stronger by taking their women, killing their strongest, taking their kids, enslaving them, playing mind games with them, getting them to hate their own family, get them to be part of the new tribe. Native Americans weren't singing Kumbaya and being like preachy, let's all dreamy, hold hands and have a powwow and do rain dances and everything's all nice and stuff. Nah, man. Nah. They're creatures of the fucking land, man. I said creature. Oh, you call them creatures. That's not human. No. I mean that in a nice way. When I say they're creatures of the land, I mean that in the way where they weren't just human, man. Do you imagine how hard it must be to actually live off the land like that? Dude, I have high respect for the ability for anyone to do that. And full-on tribes living on the land, forming little clusters, little tribes, little societies. Foraging for food, hunting, killing. Practicing whatever, their little religious stuff. None of us, most of us, you guys watch the stream, I hate to say it, but do you think you're actually equipped to take on what's out there in the wild? I know I fucking couldn't. How long could you be out there in the wilderness? Just live off the land. Come on, man. Come on. They were ferocious. They were tough. But part of that toughness was they're not going to take shit from anybody. They're not there singing songs and dancing with just random strangers. Nah. It's about, we want what's yours. We need to strengthen our tribe so we could either ally or I'm going to take what you have. Oh, Aaron says something interesting in the chat. I recently read that there were at least 2 million people in open slavery in 2021. Yeah, I think I've read that too. Pretty high number, pretty big. They're talking about forced labor. They're talking about sex slavery. That shit happens. Ask yourself why there's enslaved black people in Dubai. Huh? Where are they getting them from? Ask yourself why they have open slave markets in Syria. We got troops in Syria that are literally guarding oil. I know many people have said to me before, but Syria is not really exactly about oil. You're right. Much deeper than that. That's a different stream. But we got troops over there. Well, they could do something. They could shut down an open slavery market or whatever. Oh, no. They would rather man a wheat field to have to starve Syrians to death. That's happening. Because fuck it, right? I was going into detail about the tribe, describing what it would be like to live on the land. Of course, from the comfort of sitting in my freaking garage, just hypothetically thinking, just pondering it. But the reason why I was doing that was to illustrate and paint a picture here that really defies the logic of some of these really woke guys, these woke individuals that think Native Americans were all peachy and nice and very helping. Did they help each other at times? Sure. Yeah. Fine. Yes. But they would also behead each other and enslave each other and rape the women. maybe even kids. Well, I guess about the oil thing. The Syria oil thing. I guess I could talk about that just a little bit from what I've looked into so far. So yeah, the official narrative of the whole Syria thing is about the two pipelines. The two pipelines that haven't even been started yet. They're fighting over... Supposedly the official narrative, right, is that fighting over pipelines. Fighting over territory for the pipelines, which are still on the drawing board and are not feasible, not practical, don't make any sense. They tried pipelines before, and what Egypt was supposed to supply gas to, I can't remember the name of what place, but they just couldn't do it. They didn't have the gas to do it. And then when they do have a pipeline, it gets destroyed. It gets blown up by a fucking terrorist. Okay? Why the fuck do you think that would even make any sense? It doesn't make sense. It's billions, tens of billions of dollars for an insane, stupid project that makes no goddamn sense. And you'll see our troops guarding oil, literally guarding oil infrastructure. Yeah, you'll see that. We've seen that. Even when Trump was president, we saw those photo ops. There's a deeper narrative to the whole Syrian thing. It has to go with, look at who are we fighting with? Who are we fighting with? Who's along our side? Actually, I should word it this way. Whose side are we on? Who's our ally in this? Who's one of our big allies in Syria? And who has a vested interest to see Iran and Syria wiped off the fucking map? Anyway, you could explore that question on your own, but just know that the pipeline thing is, I believe, from what I've read so far, is a fucking myth. They haven't even gotten started on that shit. You're fighting over something that you haven't even built. It's still a hypothetical. Oh yeah, contracts have been signed. Contracts signed in the Middle East is worth what? Nothing. Just because you have a handshake deal or a contract signed in the Middle East doesn't mean it's all going to be peachy. Fuck. Those peace deals last as long as neighboring Native American tribes. I thought we had a deal. Why are you fighting us? That was a horrible impression. I don't even know what that was trying to do there, but getting back to Native Americans. Yeah, Native Americans, while they're people of color, sure, yeah, fine. Yeah, I'm not going to argue that. People of color, sure. And while Native Americans were treated like shit, oh, yeah, they were. They were. You can kind of ask who drew first blood, and maybe there's a reason. You know, there's obviously a history to the white man and the red man and the native man that's really bad. Sure. All I can say about that, to the victor go the spoils. Look, different time frame, different time period. That was the time of conquering. You take land. You conquer, you explore, you take land. That's what you did. That's what everybody did. Be like, oh, that doesn't justify it. No, but that's what your ancestors did, didn't they? Any woke person be like, oh, that doesn't justify it. Well, guess what? You're part of it too. Everyone's done that. Everyone's fucking done that from the dawn of time. And we're doing it now. With regime changes and shit like that. Anyway. Yeah. Native Americans weren't peaceful, loving, just hippies. Yeah, I like it when the woke left say like, "Oh, but Native Americans were like vegan and they were like super kind to Mother Nature and all this stuff." Are you kidding me? Vegan? Yeah, there's probably a few vegetarian tribes, but if they got a hold of a fucking buffalo or some fish, they're gonna eat that shit. I understand. I think there are some tribes that they say we're vegan. Or not vegan, but vegetarian. I don't know how vegetarian you could possibly fucking be when you're living off the fucking land like that. And you don't have a constant supply of crops. Like, I don't understand how you can possibly be fucking vegan 100% in this sort of context. That makes no sense to me. We're not talking about like advanced farm techniques. We're talking about scavenging for berries, fruits, vegetables. So where else are you getting your food? From fish, deer, buffalo. So looking back, even in the history class, hearing about the tribes that were vegetarian, mostly vegetarian, mostly, maybe. I don't believe that they could possibly ever have been vegetarian. That doesn't make any sense. Makes no fucking sense to me. Because even if there was a vegetarian tribe that was solely vegetarian, they would die. They would be conquered by the other tribe. Now, the cannibal Native Americans, the cannibal tribes, shit, I believe that. Oh boy, oh boy. Now, I don't think they started off as cannibals. They probably liked other stuff to eat, but hey, you know, when there's a tough winter and food is very fucking scarce, no more berries, no more apples, no more fruit, no more vegetables, no more fish, no more deer or buffalo or whatever. You gotta eat. You're gonna eat somebody. You can eat your own, or you can go fight other tribes, take them as hostage, or take them in and eat them. And there you go. The chieftain who came up with that idea was like, to save his people, to go conquer other tribes and eat them. That was the chieftain that claimed power, and they'll look up to him. Aaron would say, so they moved on. Right. A lot of tribes did move on. You have to move on. But what about the ones that refused to move on? Or were a little slow on moving on? Or just like, they're like, no. We could probably eat those people. No way. Yeah. Somehow it happened. Somehow it fucking happened. Whoever was the first cannibal in that region, that's your starting point there. That's your origin. And that, I guess you could say, the culture of eating humans, just sort of blossomed from there. So how you guys doing? You guys feel, you guys surprised that the Cherokee Nation enslaved a bunch of black people? Quite a bit. Like I said, even from the CNN information, well, that was in the article. According to the National Museum of American Indians, around 1961, by 1961, the Cherokee people had enslaved 4,000 black people. Quite a bit of people. The Cherokee Nation also fought alongside, the Confederates, because black people, or slaves, are important to keep. If your livelihood kind of depends on slaves, you like having slaves, you're going to fight to keep those slaves. Just ask China. Just ask any company, any nation right now that who benefits from slavery. Hey, ask America, the cheap fucking labor that comes from Mexico. Shit, man. Aaron says, I didn't know there's some sort of revelation. You're right. It shouldn't have been. This is history. But here's the thing. This article came out today saying where the Cherokee Nation is saying that, hey, if your ancestors were enslaved by our people, you are now a member of the tribe. Now, my question looking at that is, why did they release this now? Why? Huh. Were they trying to get ahead of something? And that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there's a deeper story here. Maybe I'm looking too much into this. But I'm thinking there's a deeper story here. And that the reason why they came out with this, reason why they decided, oh, okay. Look, guys, if your ancestors were enslaved, you're part of the tribe, is because they knew that someone, maybe a member of the Black Lives Matter, I don't know, someone was coming for them with a hot take, some smears. And they want to get ahead of it. That's right. E.T. says Judaism benefited from slavery. That's right. Even the Jews had slaves. And Jesus seemed okay with it. Got to throw that one in there too. I mean, it doesn't seem like he was bothered by it. It seemed like he was more bothered by people gambling. You gonna have a slave? Yeah, okay, whatever. You gonna gamble? Flip tables. Time to flip tables. See, now I wonder if this is coming about because they wanted to go after Abraham Lincoln because of the Cherokee, because of his treatment of Native Americans, the relocating Native Americans or whatever. Okay, all right. And maybe someone in that committee or part of that found out that, wait a second, the Cherokees had slaves. Huh. And then, they slowly start to realize that, well, maybe we need to go after them. I mean, we could see what's happening, I guess, in real time. We go to Twitter. We look up Cherokee. We'll see if people are ringing to this. Like I said, I'm looking at this on Reddit, and I kind of see that as a pretty good example of how the woke kind of react to things. Like on Reddit, someone brings up, fewer people know that the Cherokee fought alongside the South in the Civil War. Someone tried to put out, but that's because they did that because they wanted recognition. They wanted recognition of a sovereign, independent state as well. But in reality, they also had their slaves who wanted to keep slavery going for them as well. So they would fight for the right to have slaves. There you go. But the thing is, like I said before, slavery's not a white man thing. Okay? Slavery's been around since the dawn of time, since the dawn of man. You can pick up a history book. Read a fucking history book. Everyone had slaves. All right, let's see. Like I said before, there were even slaves in Africa. I mean, and that stuff is still going on. Let's see. Let me take a look at some of the reactions to this story here. Let's see. Take a look at new reactions. This should be good. So it says, now, isn't that like erasing their history? Erasing the Cherokee tribe, Cherokee Nation's history? Mm-hmm. Someone's asking, so is the Cherokee Nation canceled? Maybe. We'll see what happens. See, I think that the Cherokee Nation was trying to get ahead of any sort of cancel news, but we'll see if it actually works. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Here's a good comment. But side with genocidal colonists and gain your sympathy? The Union was still charging full steam ahead of the Western expansion and forced annexation of native lands by the Civil War. Let's not forget. So, don't side with the genocidal colonists. Don't side with the genocidal colonists. Don't do that. There's no winning. There's no winning with this stuff. If you say that you're pro the North, let's say for the Civil War, they'll say that's still bad because you're pro genocidal colonist. Genocidal colonists. Never mind the fact that every country on this fucking earth, every nation has a bloody history of war and conquest. The world didn't just poof to be with the nations that are currently are, just poof, magical, out of some cat's asshole. No. People went to those lands, and if those lands were already occupied, they fought for those lands. They shed blood for those lands. Several times, multiple times, for years, for decades, for centuries. Genocidal colonists. That could really be applied to just about anyone. Any nation that had a history of conquesting for land. Like the Spaniards. What about the Japanese? What about the Japanese? Oh, their history's not clean. David McKay says, only one country kicked American butt. Only one country. What country is that? Don't you say it. Don't you say it, David. I think I know where you're going with this. Only one country kicked American butt. Are you going to say Canada? We didn't succeed. We didn't take over Canada. Actually, a lot of countries have kicked American butt if you think about it. Vietnam, North Korea. But that was with the help of China. Actually, both of them probably helped with China. And now what we do is we use the CIA to arm rebels in Syria or in the Middle East, anywhere. We arm them with our military hardware. We train them. Then we release them. And then we fight them. We make our enemy. We fight our fucking enemy. I mean, people call China a paper tiger. But what are we doing? We're fucking LARPing. We're fucking... I don't know. We're playing like war games. We're playing little war games that don't last very long at all. Well, the actual combat doesn't last long. Staying there lasts forever. Just takes forever. Never gonna end. Till the mission is complete. Is that Maker's Mark or cough syrup? Oh, this? This looks like cough syrup. Cold brew coffee. Mocha. Man, if I was drinking straight up cough syrup, that'd be fucking crazy. Right? Dude, that would be bonkers. Oh, man. But, yeah, that's about it as far as the Cherokee Nation, that thing. Let's go take a look at Twitter and see how people are reacting to this news here. If there's any reaction. Like I said, I didn't look into that. A DM. Okay. Let's go read my DMs. No. Let's see. Let's go take a look at the Cherokee Nation and see if there's any people freaking out, reading about how, oh my God, I can't believe Native Americans had slaves. I like how, oh, no, but there's a Cherokee Nation that has asked Jeep to stop using the tribe's name on its vehicles. Too bad, so sad. You know, that sucks for you. I don't have any problem with that. But you're a white man, of course you don't. No, I just read Reddit. Why sympathize with people who are genocidal? And Native Americans were genocidal to each other. So, you know what? Fuck it. All right, let's see here. See if anyone's freaking out. I don't think so. I'd be surprised if they're even talking about this. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing much talk about this Cherokee thing, this article. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if there's really not much of anything, because it's not something that they would want to talk about, because it then brings more questions like, what's going on here? I thought slavery was just a white man thing. This is weird. This sort of makes history a little murky, a little gray, and we don't like that. We just want things black and white, want things super simple. Let's see. Someone Reddit says, "Oh, great! I'm probably only alive because somebody raped one of the slaves." Okay, I already learned a couple of days ago that the Choctaw tribe laws are homophobic. This has been a hard week learning about my ancestry. Damn, right? Oh yeah. How do you think homosexuals were treated in the tribe? If you were a Cherokee back in 1860, and if you like to blow dudes and fuck dudes, what happened to you? You're out on a hunt. Everyone's active, getting in position, ready to hunt, and you're over there trying to put your thumb up the chief's ass. Bold move, but now you're dead. So it will be interesting to see if how many people claim Cherokee Nation, whatever, ancestry, and good for them, I suppose. Look, if you're a black dude and you find out that your ancestors were enslaved by the Cherokees, well, I imagine that's some fucked up history. And how you feel about that, I'm sure it's pretty bad. But guess what? Now the Cherokee Nation gave you an open invite to be part of the tribe, whatever that means. I don't know if you get the benefits. I don't know if you get that benefit package. Anyway. So yeah, I'm pretty much wrapping this one up here. I think I covered that topic quite a bit. Now, if you guys have other questions, other things you want to add to it, feel free to do so. What are you guys saying? Slipping on some scissor up. That's what I'm doing. One stream I might actually sip a cough syrup, just for the joke of it. The joke is on me. Well, I have no problem with that, do I? You think I'm the sort of person that has a problem with sacrificing a little bit of dignity just for a little joke? Come on, look at me. Look at me. I'll talk to God afterwards and sort things out. Maybe he'll listen, maybe he won't. I don't know. Dirty Sprite, lean, etc. Look up the Crow Creek Massacre. 500 years before Europeans landed. Right? I'm not too familiar with the Crow Creek Massacre, but it wouldn't surprise me if tribes are massacring each other way before the evil white man came. Guess what? Massacres, genocide, slavery. The white man, he doesn't have a copyright on that. He doesn't have a claim on that. It's not just his thing. Crow Creek Massacre. Oh, okay, let's see. Look at this. The Crow Creek Massacre. What, in South Dakota? All right, somewhere in the 1300s. Native American groups. Like, how many bodies are we talking about? I'm trying to find a number of bodies. 486 people killed? What? How dare they? How dare the natives genocide each other and massacre each other before the white man came over? What? That'd make a conquistador happy. You know, I smoke a lot of cigars. And when I smoke cigars, I'm like, you know, this is brought to us by Spaniards, by conquistadors. Okay? Which was brought to us by Christopher Columbus. This shit right here. Oh, man. So when I smoke a cigar, that's white privilege. I think about this sometimes. I'm like, the people who wrap these cigars, what conditions are they in? They don't look like conditions I would want to be in. But you know what? When I'm on my iPhone, what condition was that kid in that was in Africa mining for rare materials? Shitty condition. So, whatever. What am I going to do? All right. I'll look more into this Crow Massacre on my own time, my alone time. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed talking with you guys and doing these streams. I've been enjoying it since I've been doing it for months now, right? Just pretty much daily, around noon streams. It's going to end very soon, though. Going to go back to the office. And then I might change up the nightly shows. Because I like doing these streams where I'm just talking about whatever. But I also like talking about horror stuff too. And they don't really mesh well, I don't think. Unless I want to talk about like a Native American horror movie like Bone Tomahawk. You ever seen that? Hey, I thought it was pretty good. The last act is a huge payoff. All right. So I'll go ahead and wrap up the stream here. You guys, ladies, take it easy. Have a good one.